Hello, everybody. My name is Brandy. I am with the Education Department. I'm standing over here on the left-hand side of our Blue Cavern exhibit. Thank you so much for joining us today. In just a few moments, I am going to get a show started. So I am going to have to ask you guys to take a step back from our exhibit. No worries. Just to make sure, and if you want to stay on the carpet, I'm going to ask you to take a seat, or we can take a seat on these benches back here, or stand on the tile if you prefer to stand. I just want to make sure everyone is able to see this exhibit because I'm going to talk about some of the really cool stuff we have in here in just a moment. Now, like I said, this is our Blue Cavern exhibit. Blue Cavern is modeled after a real dive site that is off the coast of Catalina Island. Has anyone ever been to Catalina before? Couple of people? Yeah, so this is an actual dive site that's off of the coast of Catalina. This is our tallest exhibit we have here at the aquarium. It's about 28 feet deep. However, the real Blue Cavern that is off of Catalina is about 100 feet deep. So if you took about 3.5 of these guys and stacked them on top of each other, that is how deep our real dive site would be. We do still have an exhibit that's pretty true to the Blue Cavern. We have a lot of the same species. However, you may notice that most of our species in here are what are called predators. Has anyone heard that word before? Predator? Nobody? All right. I can tell you a little bit. Predatory fish, they just mean that they eat other fish. They hunt other fish. Now, in our Southern California exhibit, we have what's called our amber forest. Those are our prey fish, so our fish that would be eaten by the predators. Now, is there a reason that we might keep these things separate? Can you guys think of any reasons that we might keep our predators and our prey separate? Anybody? If we had our predator and our prey fish, in about 2 weeks, we would only have predator fish left, so we keep them separate so you guys can see them. However, there is one exception to this rule. If you guys look all the way up at the very, very top of our exhibit, you'll see this big group of fish. It's actually called a school. That is a school of sardines. Now, our sardines are prey fish, but the reason that we have them in this predatory fish exhibit is because of this schooling behavior. Now, they swim around in this big group, and if I was a predator and I didn't have very good eyesight and I saw this big mass, I probably wouldn't want to attack it because I wouldn't know what it was. Now, if I was a predator and I had really good eyesight, it'd be really hard for me to pick out one of these fish to eat from this big school. So the reason this school of fish can stay in here is because of that schooling behavior. Now, another fish I want to talk a little bit about that we have in here is our giant sea bass. I see one over here. I'll walk over, point them out to you guys. Here's one right up here. This is our giant sea bass. We do have 3 in this exhibit. Now, a little bit about our giant sea bass. They were hunted. We thought that they were extinct actually out in the wild. It turns out that they were not. And luckily, we were able to protect our giant sea bass. And now, if you ask any of our divers here that dive here for us at the aquarium, a lot of them have been to the real Blue Cavern off of Catalina. And they will tell you they are starting to see giant sea bass out in the ocean again, which is a really great success story because these guys live in what's called a marine protected area. Now, has anyone here been to like a national park or a state park or anything like that? Anyone around here? Well, at least one person. So a marine protected area is just like a national park that's underwater. It's protected. You can't put your anchors down. You can't fish, things like that. So these guys live in this kind of area, and that way their populations are starting to come back. We also have a success story with giant sea bass here at the aquarium. If you guys want to check out in Southern California and Baja exhibit, we have a baby giant sea bass who was an offspring of 2 of our sea bass that we have in here. When he was born, he was like about the size of my thumbnail, really small. Now he's like probably a foot big, and he will get even bigger. These guys we have in here are what we call our charter animals. They have been living here with us at the aquarium since we opened. And so they're about in their early 20s. They will live to be about 70 years old, and they'll get to be about 6 feet long, which is taller than I am, and weigh about 500 pounds. So these fish still have a lot of growing to do. Now another success story with fish that are coming back we have here in the aquarium, perfect timing, is our white sea bass. You can see these two kind of silvery torpedo-shaped fish that are swimming right together in front of the exhibit. Now that's kind of a misnomer. These guys are neither white nor are they sea bass, but that's okay. They are in the croaker family, and but their common name is the white sea bass. Now, does anyone here like seafood? It's okay to raise your hand. I know it's a little awkward to talk about seafood here at an aquarium, but it's okay. The fish can't hear you. They're not judging you. Seafood is a really great source of protein. We encourage you guys to eat seafood here at the aquarium. We just do encourage you to eat what's called sustainable seafood. And our white sea bass is a really good sustainable seafood option. Has anyone heard that word before, sustainable, or heard about sustainable seafood? Yeah, so what that means is that these guys their populations are able to reproduce more quickly than we're taking them out of the ocean. So if you guys go to a restaurant or the grocery store and you are really feeling that fish, white sea bass is a great option because that means that their populations are going to stay steady and you guys can eat them without worrying about depleting their populations out in the ocean. Now another fish that I do love to talk about that's of course disappeared when I want to talk about them. If you guys see any leopard sharks swimming around, please let me know. I'd love to point them out to you. We do have some leopard sharks in here, and we do get the question a lot for our divers. Are our divers afraid of swimming with these sharks? And the answer to that is no. In fact, if you ask, oh, somebody told me, here goes one. Here's one of our leopard sharks. If you ask our divers about swimming with these guys, they will tell you that they are actually some of their favorite animals to swim with here. They're really shy, really gentle sharks. In fact, they are our only sharks that get hand-fed. So our divers will actually come down in here, food in hand, and feed it to these sharks. Does anyone here like swimming in the ocean? Couple of people? I know I do. If you've been swimming in the ocean around here, you've actually probably been swimming with these leopard sharks, and you didn't even know it. They're really gentle, really shy. They're nothing to be afraid of. And we do love to talk about sharks because they do have a bad reputation. And I want you guys to remember that these guys are really great creatures and are really important to our oceans. Now, the last thing I'd like to talk about in here is not an animal, but is this really tall, kind of greenish-brown stuff. You see it growing all throughout the exhibit. Does anyone know what that stuff is? Seen anything like it before, maybe? That is actually our giant kelp. It looks like a plant, but it's what's called an algae. And now our giant kelp we have in here, can I tell you guys a secret about the giant kelp we have in our Blue Cavern? The kelp we have in here is actually artificial, but that's okay because our fish don't really seem to know the difference. They do use it the same way they would use real kelp. Now, the reason we have artificial kelp here in our Blue Cavern is because it grows really, really fast. Giant kelp can grow up to 2 feet per day, and now if we had a real kelp in here, it would take over this entire exhibit, and you guys probably wouldn't be able to see anything, so we do keep the kelp in here as artificial. Now, kelp is another really good what's called sustainable resource. You guys might not think about it that often, but we do actually use kelp in our daily lives. I can give you guys some examples. Has anyone here brushed their teeth today at any point? No hands, just a couple of hands. Okay, what about another question? Does anyone here like ice cream? Wow, fewer hands than I would think. I like ice cream for sure. If you guys have brushed your teeth today, if you've eaten ice cream, if you're wearing makeup, if you've washed your hair with shampoo or conditioner, then you have used your kelp today. We actually use it as an emulsifier. It's what keeps things from being a liquid. It holds stuff together. So you actually use kelp in your daily lives. So not only is it important to the fish like in here, but it's also very important to us. Now, a couple things that you guys can do to make sure that our kelp ecosystems stay healthy is by making sure you're just picking up your trash. If you see trash on the ground, it will end up in the ocean, and we don't want that to happen. These guys like having a clean home, just like you guys like having a clean house. And our kelp also provides over half of the oxygen in the world. And I don't know about you guys, but I think we can all agree that we do like to breathe. So keeping our kelp ecosystems healthy is very important. Thank you guys so much for joining me today here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Again, my name is Brandy. I'm with the Education Department. I will be sticking around for a couple minutes if you want to ask me any questions about our Blue Cavern. If there's anything I didn't cover, I will be happy to answer your questions, and enjoy the rest of your day here at the aquarium.